So good morning all my dear students. So I am going with the last part of probability distributions. So in our previous videos we had come across exponential distribution, correct? So exponential distribution and this video, that is normal distribution, will come under continuous random variables, whereas binomial and Poisson distribution will come under discrete random variables. Okay, so this module actually it's like three parts. Okay, in the first part it is all about discrete and continuous random variable problems. Second part is binomial and distribution problems, and third part is exponential and normal distribution problems. Okay, so even that in the same way the question paper will be set. So do study it part by part, my dear students. It will be helpful for you. So in my last part I'll be dealing with the normal distribution, which is one of the very important distributions. Okay, so it's like among all the continuous random variables, the most popular and widely used is normal distribution functions. So this normal distribution function, this is in general. Okay, you no need to remember this, but the theory part I should tell you, so I'm just telling you. So the normal distribution function, having the probability density function f of x is given by f of x is equal to 1 by sigma root of 2 pi into c to the power minus x minus of x minus mu the whole square divided by 2 sigma square, where x is between both negative as well as positive. But if you had checked your exponential distribution, it was explained only for the positive terms. Am I not correct? It was from 0 less than x less than infinity, correct? That was one of the disadvantage. But here this normal distribution, it is taken from negative to positive, correct? From minus infinity to plus infinity. So that is one of the biggest advantages of this normal distribution, where the parameter mu and sigma represents the mean and standard deviation of the normal distribution. Okay, so the mean is mu and standard deviation is simply sigma, the direct mean and standard deviation. So the mean is mu and standard deviation is sigma, so variance will be sigma square. Okay, but my dear students, you no need to remember this one to solve the problems. I'll tell you which one we have to remember. The standard normal distribution is given by simply z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma. A very simple one which is required to solve any type of problems. Okay, you no need to remember this entire formula here. You just remember the normal random variable for normal distribution is given by z. Z indicates the normal distribution. Okay, z is equal to x is the unknown value, x minus mu divided by sigma. What is mu? Mu is the mean, and what is sigma? Sigma is the standard deviation. Okay, so x minus mu by sigma. If you just remember this much, more than enough. Any problem we can solve it very easily. Z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. Clear? Okay. So now here, as I said, you know, this normal distribution, it is from negative to positive, correct? So the normal distribution curve is like a bell shape. This we call it as a bell shape. Okay, which is symmetric along y-axis, means it will be varying along y-axis. Its mean is 0 and variance is 1, hence the probability distribution is p of z is equal to the same formula. You just forget about that, you just remember the graph. It is a bell shaped graph. Now how to find the values from this graph is very important. So this we call it as a the two tails of the standard normal probability distribution extend indefinitely. Indefinitely means there is no definite point here and never touches the horizontal line. See here, if you check here in the graph, I have never touched it, correct? So it will be going on, moving on up to infinity. It will not stop at some point. Okay, so the total area which is covered under this curve is from minus infinity to plus infinity with the total value of 1. Remember, I said you one thing, the probability, the total value, the summation of the probability or the total value of the probability is always how much? 1. How much? It is always equal to 1. So from minus infinity to plus infinity, if I add, its total value, the probability value will be always equal to 1. So it's like how from minus infinity to 0 it will be 0.5, artha, half of that, and from 0 to infinity it will be 0.5. So totally if I add together, I'll get from minus infinity to plus infinity as 0.5 plus 0.5, which is equal to 1. Clear? So from negative to 0 it is 0.5 value, and from 0 to infinity plus infinity, it is again 0.5. So total value will be equal to 1, probability value. Okay. So now to find any given probability of the normal distribution variable x, we convert x, see this point is very important my dear students, we convert x to the standard normal distribution variable z using the formula z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. Okay, then use this substitution, we can write the given probability in terms of z. So normally they will be giving you the value in terms of x, we are trying to write in terms of z. Okay. Now for example, see here, initially they had given me that were telling me that the x is between a comma b. Okay, then we can write this as probability of the value of a, will substitute it here in the place of x. So x minus mu by sigma, a minus mu by sigma less than, x will get changed to z, less than b minus mu by sigma, correct? So if I consider this a minus mu by sigma as z1 and b minus mu by sigma as z2, then probability of a less than x less than b, I can write it as probability of z1 less than z less than z2. How do you calculate the z1 and z2? Using this formula, x minus mu by sigma. So x is taking the values from a to b. So once you take a, you will get z1. Once you take b, you will get z2. Then we can solve the problem very easily. Clear? Okay. Once when I start with the problem, you will get an idea. Don't worry. Yes. Yeah. So here are some of the standard values which I need to remember here. So first standard value, as I said, the probability from z between minus infinity to plus infinity is always how much? 1, standard value. Then probability from minus infinity to 0 will be how much? 0.5 or 1 by 2. And probability of 0 to infinity or z greater than 0, we call it as also z greater than or equal to 0. How much? 1 by 2 or 0.5, means from 0 up to infinity. Then one more thing my dear students. So now if you check properly, if I ask you probability from minus infinity to some point, I will consider here z1. Okay, some z1. Then how will I calculate it? It is from minus infinity to 0 plus 0 to that point z1. Correct? See, total probability is 1, correct? So suppose if I stop here, that I will tell you once when I start with the problem. Okay. Yes. See, here I have taken a simple example just to understand here. Okay, to find the area under the normal curve z is equal to 0 and 1.55. First thing is you plot the graph. So z is 0 to 1.55. See here, from 0 up to 1.55. How will you calculate this value? You know from 0 to infinity it is how much? How much? 0.5. But from 0 to 1.55, how will you calculate? So in order to find this value, we have the standard normal distribution table. So in the exam they will give you this table. See here. So this is a table. We call this as area of standard normal distribution. Okay. So this is a standard table which they will give you in the exam. Using this table we have to refer for the value. Now which value I want? Z is from 0 to 1.55. So directly you check 1.55 or we write it as simply phi of 1.55. The notation in the graph we check it as phi. So phi of 1.55. How to check it in the graph? Just check carefully my dear students. So first check here 1.5 and point values you have to check here. So 1.5, after that what I have? 1.55, correct? So then check 0.05 here. So 1.5 plus 0.05, so it will be somewhere here. I'll go straight and this is the value 0.4934. Okay, I'll just mark it my dear students, so that, so this is the line 1.5 and then 0.0000.05, correct? So which is the value 0.4934, correct? So if you check that directions whatever I have put here, so 1.5 and here 0.5, 0.05, if you add that I'll get 1.55. So which value is corresponding to both? 0.4934. So the probability of z between 0 and 1.55 is simply 0.4934. Clear with how to get the value? Similarly, suppose if I ask you z between minus 1.55 and 0, what will you do? Negative. See, one thing if you have observed carefully, is it not just like the mirror image from positive to negative? Whatever is there in the positive side, is it not similar to the negative side also? Bell shaped graph means what? When you divide it, okay, yeah, see here, I have my second example. What will be the area of the standard normal curve between minus 0.86 and 0? So it's like from minus 0.86 to 0 I have to check the value, correct? So in the graph, if you observe, you have the value only for the positive values from 0, correct? But what happens, since it is symmetry, I can also check the value of plus 0.86. Done. Okay, so just check here, probability from minus 0.86 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 0. How to check the value? So you go for minus 0.8 here and 6 here. Okay, so I'll just draw it. So minus 0.8 is the line up to 6. Yeah, so if you check here, we'll get the value 0.3501. Clear? You got an idea how to check the graph, my dear students? Okay, so it's like if you want to check minus 0.86, you don't worry, you just check the positive value only, because negative value is same as the positive value here, because it's just like a mirror image. By symmetry we can write. Okay, this is interesting, correct? Find the area of the standard normal curve where z is between minus 0.44 and z is equal to 1.76. First draw the graph. So minus 0.44 is here and 1.76 is here. Now how will you check the value? You can check from 0.44 to 0 plus 0 to 1.76. Is it not easy? Correct? Yes. So it's simply, see here, minus 0.44 to 0, that is simply 5 of 0.44, and from 0 to 1.76. See here, because negative is same as positive, so simply 0.44 plus 1.76. Check these values in the graph and write it. So how to check it? See here, 0.44 is here, so I'll get 1.7 over here, and 1.76. So 1.5, oh, I have just you just check the previous slides, my dear students, you will get the graph. Okay, we'll get it as 0.4608. Okay, I hope you know how to find the value in the graph. Okay, see here, 0.4 and 4 here, so 1.7, 0.17. Okay, similarly you check 1.76 in the previous slide, you will get it, or you keep the table along with you before solving the problem. Okay, so this is the way how you have to do. So from minus 0.44 to 0, and from 0 plus 0 to 1.76. Okay, and when you add it, you will get 0.6308. Next example. So my dear students, my suggestion is please go through the full video, because whatever I tell here, each points are entirely different from the previous points whatever I tell here. Okay, so go through the entire video properly, or else it will be very difficult for you to understand. Okay, yes, so the next question is, find the area of the standard normal curve between z is equal to 0.57 to 2.49. First draw the graph. 0.57 to 2.49. Okay, now comes the real question to you. How will you find this area? See, if they had asked you from 0 to 2.49, you can directly check from 0 to 2.49. Or if they had asked you from 0 to 0.57, you can check this value. Now they have asked you between 0.57 and 2.49. How can you find it, my dear students? Can't I go from 0 to 2.49 minus 0 to 0.57? Then won't I get this region? Is it not simple? What you will do? You will go from 0 to 2.49. You will subtract it from 0 to 0.57. Correct? See here, the required area is between. First you go from 0, this is the 0th line, to 2.49 minus 0 to 0.57. Finished. That's it. Correct? So it's simply phi of 2.49 minus 0.57. So I have the graph here. So 2.49 means 2 is here and 2.4 is here and 9 is here last value. So 2.4's last value, if you check here, 0.4936. Correct? See here, 0.4936. And phi of 0.57. So 0.5 is over here and 7 is over here. So it will be 0.2157. So 0.2157, or that is equal to 0.2779. You clear with the how to find the values from the given for any region? Is it okay? Yes. Next. Okay. I have here the area. Find the area of the standard normal curve where z is between z is from minus 0.96. So they are telling z is equal to minus 1.96. From here up to the entire region I should cover, correct? So how will you do it? You know that from 0 to, they have not said you where it will stop, correct? So it is like up to infinity. So from 0 to infinity, what is the value? Standard value 0.5. Then you just calculate the remaining one. From minus 1.96 to 0, you just check how much it is, and then plus 0 to infinity. See here, the required area is between z is equal to minus 1.96 to 0 plus the area the right hand side from 0 up to infinity. So from 0 to infinity, you know that it is standard value 0.5, and this is like phi of 1.96. So phi of 1.96, I'll just check here. So 1.9 is over here and then 6. So it's 0.4744 proper. See here, 50. Yeah, it's over here, 0.4750 plus from 0 up to infinity is how much? 0.5. So 0.4750 plus 0.5 will give me 0.9750. You clear with the concept, my dear students? You understood how to check the graph and how to calculate it. So if they had asked you from here to this point, so it's like from minus 0.96 to 0 plus 0 to infinity. That's it. Okay. Okay, I have one more illustration here. If I ask you find the probability of z greater than or equal to 0.85, think, my dear students, how will you get it? Think a bit, then you will get an idea. Okay, you got an idea? Is it not simple? How will you do it? So can you directly check only 0 to 0.85? No. See, if you check 0 to 0.85, you will get this region, not the shaded region. I want the shaded region now, correct? So shaded region means what? From 0.85 up to where it will go? Infinity. Then how will you do it? What you do is, you go from 0 to infinity and then subtract it from 0 to 0.85. This distance you subtract. So that I will get this remaining value, correct? What I will do, I will write this as z greater than or equal to 0, that is from 0 to infinity, minus probability of z less than or equal to 0.85. So it's simply 0.5 minus phi of 0.85. So how much is phi of 0.85? You just check here. So 0.8 is here and phi is over here, my dear students. So I'll get 0.3289. Sorry, 0.3023. Correct? See here, 0.5 minus 0.3023. So what you'll do, you will go from 0 up to infinity, that is 0.5, minus I wanted this region, so it is, you have to subtract this region, which I am showing now. So it is phi of 0.85, that is 0.3203. Subtract it, you will get 0.1977. So the area value of this area region, shaded region, is how much? 0.1977. Clear? Hope you have understood how to check the graphs now, and how to subtract, or in what case we have to subtract, what case we have to add. Go through all the illustrative examples whatever I have given, my dear students. Don't think that this is not required. If you know this properly, like how to check the graph, then only you can answer the questions. See, these simple questions and all, they will not ask you in the exam, okay? What they will ask is the next part, but in order to solve that, you should be knowing how to check the graph, how to solve it and all, correct? That's why I am giving you the illustrative examples, okay? Okay, one more. Now, how will you find the probability of z between minus 1.64 to minus 0.88? What can I do? Think. First thing is you'll plot the graph. Okay, I'll plot it. But why I have taken positive values over here, my dear students? Any idea? See, the question is from minus 1.64 to 0.88, but I have done the graph here in the positive part. Why? Think. Any idea? Yes, because the negative part is just like a mirror image in the positive part. So what I can do, instead of going for the negative part, you draw the graph on the positive part only. No one will ask you. So first which should come 0.88, then which one? 1.64. So this is the region which I want to find out, correct? Okay. So since it's symmetry, see here, I have written here, since it's a symmetry one, so instead of negative to negative, I can go from 0.88 to 1.64. So how will I calculate? Just go from 0 to 1.64 first, then subtract it with 0 to 0.88, this distance. Okay, so we are going from 0 to 1.64, this entire region, and I'm subtracting with the unshaded region, that is 0 to 0.88. Okay, so for that we have to go for the graph. So check for 1.64. So 1.624 is 0.44495 minus 0.13106 is 0.88 value, that is 0.88 means where I'll get. So it's over here, my dear students, 0.8 and 8 you can check here. So it is 0.3106. Subtract it, so I'll get how much? 0.1389. That is my final answer. Okay, you hope you are clear with this one. Yes. Next one. So here I have the next problem, my dear students. Find the probability of z less than or equal to minus 2.43. Okay, so again here, what did I tell you first? So whether they give you negative, it is same as the value which is there in the positive, because it's just like a mirror image. Whatever values are there in the negative, same values will be there in the positive term also. Okay, so I can simply write this as probability of z less than or equal to minus 2.43 as probability of z greater than 2.43. So draw the graph for that. So greater than 2.43 means just draw a line near 2.43 and shade all the values after 2.43. Means it is done up to infinity. Correct? So now how will you calculate this region? You have to go from 0 to infinity, and you know what is the value from 0 to infinity, that is 0.5 minus this unshaded region will give me the value of this shaded region. Correct? So what I'll do, I'll simply write it as probability of z greater than or equal to 0 and its value is 0.5, which is known to us standard value, minus probability of z less than or equal to 2.43. So you will just check what is the value of 2.43. So how to check it? You have to go for 2.4 here in the graph and 3 here column wise. So 2.4 and 3, which will give me 0.4925. Correct, it is over here. So 0.5 minus 0.4925, that is equal to 0.0075. So the value of this shaded region is 0.0075. And one more thing, the point which you need to remember here is the value of the probability will be always less than 1 and it will be a positive value. You can never get a negative answer over here. Whatever answer we get, it should be always positive and it should be always between 0 and 1. Okay, so the total probability cannot exceed 1. So here also total probability is from minus infinity to plus infinity is always 1. So from 0 to plus infinity is 0.5 and similarly from minus infinity to 0 is 0.5. So 0.5 on the negative part plus 0.5 on the positive part will give me the total value of probability of normal distribution as 1. Okay, so this is the way how we have to select the points or find the values. One more, very important one, my dear students. How will you find the probability of mod z less than or equal to 1.94? Okay, here mod z means what? How do you define, what is the definition of mod? Mod means either I can take for positive value or negative value. Mod z means it is plus z or minus z. So when this will be plus z, if it is 1.94, when it will be minus, when it is minus 1.94. So I can write this mod z as minus 1.94 less than or equal to z less than or equal to plus 1.94. So I have to find the values from minus 1.94 to plus 1.94. I have not drawn the graph here, my dear students. I will be explaining it to you directly. See, you remember one thing, whether it is here minus 2.43 on negative part as well as positive part will give me the same value, correct? So what I can do, I can simply write it as 2 times probability of 0.94, 1.94, correct? Because negative side minus 1.94, from there up to positive side 1.94. So minus 1.94 will be here somewhere, from here to here you add, plus from 0 to plus 1.94 you add. That's it, finished, correct? So simply you can write it as 2 times probability of z between 0 to 1.94. So check 1.94 over here, we'll get it as 4.738. So 2 times 4.4738, so I'm sorry, 0.4738, or that is equal to 0.9476. So the value of the graph between minus 1.94 to plus 1.94 is simply 2 times probability of 1.94, that is simply 2 times phi of 1.94. Directly you calculate it. Okay, hope you are clear with this one, my dear students. Okay, so normally when it comes to the exam point of view, your questions will be something like this. Okay, see here what they have given you. If x is a normal variate with mean 30 and standard deviation 5, find the probability that x is between 26 to 40 and x is greater than 45. See here, they have said you this x is a normal variate. Whenever it's a normal variate, what we have to do? If it is a normal variate, everything whatever we find, it should be in terms of z. How will you convert this x to z? We have the formula, the standard formula for a normal variate is z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. You know what is the value of mu? What is mu actually? Mu is mean. How much is mean? 30. How much is sigma, standard deviation? 5. So first in x, in the case you take x as 26, second case you take it as 40. See here, we have the standard normal variate z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. So x minus mu is 30, sigma is 5. Now you take once you take 26, once you take 40. So for the first case, so to find probability of x between 26 and 40, how will I find the value? First time you take x as 26, you will get some value, and second time you take x as 40, you will get some value, or substitute it here. Then we can write it as z. So when x is 26, my z will be how much? Minus 0.8. So you substitute it here. So minus 26 minus 30 divided by 5. Okay, so 26 minus 30 is minus 4 divided by 5, or I'll get minus 0.8. And similarly, when x is 40, 40 minus 30 is how much? 10. 10 by 5 is 2. So z is 2. So now I can write this probability of x between 26 to 40 as probability of minus 0.8. When it was 26, it was minus 0.8, less than or equal to z, less than or equal to 2. When it is 40, we get the value of z as 2. So we need to find the value of z between minus 0.8 and 2. So it is like minus 0.8 to 2. Draw the graph. Now, how will you find this value? First you go from minus 0.8 to 0, and remember minus 0.8 to 0 is same as plus 0.8 only, and then 0 to 2. Just like a mirror image, correct? So in your table, in this problem I have not shown you the table, my dear students. Table, you refer the PDF. I will send you the PDF of the table. Okay, you can just refer that. You keep it open while you solve the problems. Okay, so it is simply like probability of minus 0.8 to 0 plus 0 to 2, correct? See here, from minus 0.8 to 0 plus probability of 0 to 2. So minus 0.8 to 0, it's similar to 0 to 0.8. Okay, 0 to 0.8 means phi of 0.8 plus phi of 2. So if you check in the table, phi of 0.8 will be simply 0.2881. The value of phi of 0.8 is 0.2881. The table I have not shown in this problem. You just refer the PDF of the table. and similarly phi of 2 will be 0.4772. Okay, so when I add it, I'll get 0.7653. So the value of probability of x between 26 to 40 or probability of z between minus 0.8 to 2 is 0.7653. Hope you are clear how to calculate it. So minus 0.8 to 0 means you have to go from minus 0.8 to 0 and then 0 to 2. Remember my dear students, in the table it is defined only for the positive half, because the negative half is symmetry to the positive half. It is just like a mirror image. So if you want to find out from minus 0.8 to 0, you have to just find out phi of 0.8. Irrespective of the sign, you just calculate it directly. Okay, plus phi of 2. That's it. Okay, I had one more question in the previous one. Also find the probability of x greater than or equal to 45. So again we have the formula z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. In that you substitute the value of x as 45. So when I do that, I'll get, when I take 45, so 45 minus 30 divided by 10 will give me 3 here. Z is 3. So we have to just find probability of z greater than or equal to 3. So how to find greater than or equal to 3? Same as the examples which I had explained. So draw the graph first. Graph is also very important here, my dear students. So greater than or equal to 3 means from 3 up to infinity. So these entire values I have to find. How will you find it? You have to go from 0 to infinity first and subtract the unshaded region, so that I'll get the shaded region. Correct? So you know the standard value. What is 0 to infinity given by 0.5? 0.5 minus phi of 3. That will give me the value of probability of z greater than or equal to 3. Correct? So this I can write it as here, 0.5 minus phi of 3, or simply probability of z greater than or equal to 0 means from 0 to infinity, minus probability of z less than or equal to 3. Less than or equal to 3 means from 0 to 3, or that is simply 0.5. This is a standard value, 0.5 minus phi of 3. So phi of 3, how will you get it? Phi of 3 we have to get it using the table. So in the table you check for 3 down and 0 up. So 3.03 will get it as 0.4987, or I will get 0.5 minus 0.4987 as 0.0013. Okay, and one more point here in is, sometimes in the question only they will give you the value. Phi of 3 is equal to 0.4987, means instead of giving the table values only will be directly given in the question itself. In that cases you no need to refer the table, directly question only will give you the table value. Okay, but don't know how they will ask in the exam. Sometimes they will only give you the value, if not they will give you the table. You have to refer the table and write the value. Okay, you be ready for both. Fine. Okay, problem. Okay, this problem is very important, my dear students. Go through it properly. The marks of 1000 students in an examination follows a normal distribution with the mean 70 and standard deviation 5. Find the number of students whose marks will be less than 65, more than 75, and between 65 and 75. Read the question carefully here. Find the number of students they are telling. They are not asking you to find the probability of marks between less than 75 or more than 75. They are asking you how many students are there with the marks of less than 75. Okay, or how many students are there with the marks of more than 75, or they are asking you how many students are there with the marks between 65 to 75. Are you clear with the question first? Okay, now we will answer. So first thing is, have they given me the mean? Yes, how much? 70. Standard deviation is what? 5. So here we'll take x. So let x represents the marks of the students. Then we have to convert that x to what? Z. So z is equal to x minus mu by sigma, the standard formula. So it is x minus mu is how much? 70. They have given me here with the mean of 70 and standard deviation is 5. So x minus 70 by 5. This is the first thing what we have to do. Okay. Now I'll answer the first question. What is my first question? Find the number of students whose marks will be less than 75. So take the value of x as how much? 65, I'm sorry. First take x equal to 65. So when I take x equal to 65 over here, 65 minus 70 is minus 5. So minus 5 divided by 5 will give me how much? Minus 1. And we have to find what? Probability of x less than 65 means probability of z less than minus 1. Correct? So less than minus 1. What did I tell you? It's just like a symmetry. Am I right? So less than minus 1, how I can write it? If you want to write it as a positive term, you can write it as greater than plus 1. Less than minus 1 is similar to greater than plus 1. Correct? See here. Probability of z less than minus 1 is similar to probability of z greater than plus 1. Correct? So just write 1 here, and greater than 1 means all the values after 1 up to infinity. How will you calculate this region, my dear students? The normally most of the problems we come across this, correct? So you have to go from 0 to infinity and then subtract it with the unshaded region, that is from 0 to 1. So it is simply probability of z greater than or equal to 0 minus probability of z between 0 to 1. So it is simply z greater than or equal to 0 is a standard value, that is 0.5 minus phi of 1. So phi of 1, how will I get it, my dear students? Phi of 1 is obtained using the table, standard normal table. So when you check your standard normal table, you will come to know that the value of phi of 1 is 0.3413. Hope you have understood how to check the table. If you have any doubts in checking the table, give me a call, I'll explain you again. Okay, so it is 0.5 minus 0.3413, that is simply 0.1587. So the probability of z less than minus 1 is simply 0.1587. What did I get? I took x as marks here, correct? Have they asked you to find the probability of the marks less than 765? No. Read the question carefully. They have asked you to find the number of students whose marks will be less than 75. So totally how many students are there in the college? 1000 students. Out of those 1000 students, how many students will have marks less than 65? So what you will do? Whatever answer we have got, we have to multiply with how much? 1000. So when I do that, number of students who are having less than 65 are 1000 into 0.1587, or simply 158.7, or approximately 159 students out of 1000 students have the marks of less than 65. So there are totally 159 students who have scored marks less than 65. Are you clear with the concept, my dear students? Okay. Second question, they have asked you more than 75. So what you will do? Case 2, take x equal to 75 here. So 70 minus 75, what will I get? 5. So 5 by 5 is again how much? 1. So more than 75 means what? Probability of x greater than 1. Is it not same as the previous case, first case? Yes. So just check here. Second one, if x is equal to 75, then we'll get z as 1, and we have to find out probability of z greater than 1. Z greater than 1, is it not as the same case which we did there? When it was 65, we got z less than minus 1. That z less than minus 1, I wrote it as z greater than 1, correct? So is it not same here, my dear students? So it is simply 0.5 minus phi of 1, same 0.1587. So there are totally how many students? 159 students with the marks greater than 75. More than 75 means greater than 75. Clear? Okay. Now I have the last question. Find the probability of find the number of students who had scored the marks between 65 and 75. So when it was 65, it is minus 1, and when it was 75, we got it as plus 1, correct? So I have to find the probability of minus 1 less than z less than plus 1 between 65 and 75. So that is simply, since on the negative side as well as the positive side the value is same, you can write it as 2 times probability of 0 less than z less than 1, or it is simply 2 times phi of 1. So when you check phi of 1, you will get 0.3413. So 2 times 0.3413 is 0.6826, correct? So they have asked me to find the number of students whose marks is between 65 and 75. So 100 into 0.6826 will give me 682.6 or simply 683 students, correct? So this is the way how we have to calculate the marks of the students who have scored between 65 and 75. So out of 1000 students, 159 students have less than 65 marks, 159 students have more than 75 marks, and 683 students have less than 65 and 75 marks. Clear? Okay. So now I'll go for the next problem. Yes. In a test of an electric bulbs, it was found that the life of a particular brand was distributed normally with an average life of 2000 hours and a standard deviation of 60 hours. If a firm purchases 2500 bulbs, find the number of bulbs, read the question carefully, I am stressing it, find the number of bulbs that are likely to last for more than 2100 hours, less than 1950 hours, and between 1900 and 2100 hours. So here what I have to find out, how many bulbs will remain for more than 2100 hours, correct? Andre, what does it mean? How many bulbs will save for 2100 hours, we have to check. So what is the mean and standard deviation here? With an average life of 2000 hours. So mean is 2000, standard deviation is how much? 60. So first thing is we have to write Z because it is normally distributed. See here, question only they have given you, it is normally distributed. So so these questions are easy to identify, correct? So you should write it as Z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. So what is the value of mu? 2000. And what is the value of sigma? 60. Now I will go for the first case. Find the number of bulbs that are likely to last for more than 2100. So more than 2100 means what? Greater than 2100. Probability of x greater than 2100. So I have to convert that x to z here. That is one of the important point. So when x is 2100, what is z? See here, I have to find probability of x greater than 2100. So if x is 2100, so z is equal to how much? 1.67. You calculate it. Z is x minus mu by sigma. X is how much? 2100 minus 2000. So that will give me 100 divided by 60, or that is simply 1.67. Okay. So we have to find out probability of z greater than 1.67. So when I do that, I will get probability of z greater than 1.67. I have shown you in the diagram. Now my question is, how will you find this value? Is it not same? So you have to go from where to where first? If you go from 0 to infinity minus 0 to 0.67, the unshaded region. So that is simply z greater than or equal to 0, or simply 0 to infinity. How much it is? 0.5 minus phi of 1.67. So again, if you check your table, you come to know that the value of phi of 1.67 is how much? 0.4525. Okay. So then 0.5 minus 0.4525 is 0.0475. Okay. So probability of x greater than 2100 is 0.0475. But should you stop here? No. Actually what they had asked you in the question, they had asked you to find the number of bulbs that are likely to last for. Means you have to check how many bulbs will stay for more than 2100 hours. So what you have to do? You have to multiply this probability to how much? 2500 bulbs. So there are totally 2500 bulbs. So in that, so 2500 into 0.0475 will give me 119. So in that total 119 bulbs may stay for more than 2100 hours. So you got an idea? Out of 2500, 119 bulbs may survive for more than 2100 hours. Okay. Now I'll go for the next case. What is that? Probability, find the number of bulbs that are likely to last for less than 1950 hours. Less than 1950. So we have to find what? Probability of x less than 1950. So x less than 1950 means what? So we'll get z is equal to minus 5 by 6, or simply minus 0.83. So I can write this as probability of x less than minus 0.83. So less than minus 0.83 is simply probability of z greater than plus 0.83. So probability of z greater than plus 0.83 means how will you find it? You have to again go from 0 to infinity minus 0 to 0.83. So 0 to infinity is 0.5, the standard value, minus 5 of 0.83, the value which is obtained in the table. So that will be 0.2967, and its value is 0.2033. Okay, so we came to know that the probability of x less than 1950 is how much? 0.2033. So we have to check how many bulbs will be having less than 1950 hours. Correct? So the number of bulbs that are likely to last for less than 1950 hours is 2500 into 0.233, that is 508.25. So 508.25 means, so you have to leave that 0.25, it is simply 508 bulbs. So there are totally how many bulbs? 508 bulbs with less than, which can stay for less than 1950 hours. Are you clear with the concept, my dear students? Is it not easy? Only thing is this probability part, if you have understood properly, the problems are very easy. Okay. Next, there was one more question. Also find the probability of x between, not probability, also find how many bulbs will remain for between 1900 hours to 2100 hours. So how will you do it? Same way, when x is, see, keep one thing in mind, my dear students, to solve this normal distribution we have to have the values in terms of z. If it is there in terms of x, then we have to convert it in terms of z. How will you convert it? By writing the formula z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. Okay, so when x is 1900, I'll get z as minus 1.67, and if x is 2100, I'll get z as 1.67. So I have to find the probability of z between minus 1.67 to plus 1.67. So is it not easy? Both the values, both negative and positive, will have same value. So I can simply write it as 2 times probability of z between 0 to 1.67. And if you check in your table, the value of phi of 1.67 is simply how much? 0.4525. So it is 2 into 0.4525, or we'll get it as 0.905. Okay, so now actually they had asked me how many bulbs will stay between 1900 hours to 2100 hours. So we have to multiply the number of bulbs, that is 2500 into 0.905, or that is simply 2263. So it's like almost 2260 bulbs will remain for more than between 1900 to 2100 hours. You clear with the concept? So in the first case they had asked me how many bulbs will be having more than 2100 hours. Second case they had asked me how many bulbs will be having more than less than 1950 hours. And third question they had asked me how many bulbs will be there who can stay between 1900 hours to 2100 hours. So we came to know that there can be maximum of 2263 bulbs who can stay from between 1900 to 2100 hours. Okay, so read the question carefully. If the word probability is there, then your answer, you have to stop it here only. If they have asked to find the number, then it is like we have to multiply the total number of items whatever are there. In this case it was bulbs. In the previous example it was like the number of students. correct? And one more thing is the graph. So this graph, if you have plotted properly and if you have identified this greater than less than no, then this concept is very easy. Okay, now I'll go for the next problem. Okay, so this last two problems whatever I do here are entirely different, my dear students. So here what they have given you is, they have given you the normal distribution and they are asking you to find the mean and standard deviation. So till now the problems whatever we had done, they used to give me mean and standard deviation, correct? And then they were asking me to find some probabilities. But here what happened, they are given you the probability and they are asking you to find the mean and standard deviation. So it's just like a reverse procedure, and even the table whatever we see, it should be in the reverse way, correct? I'll explain you the table also, don't worry. Okay, so first thing what they have given you, in a normal distribution 31% of the items are under 45. So first you write that, let mu and sigma be the mean and standard deviation. Then first case, by data probability of under 45, so x less than 45 is equal to how much? 31%. So 31% I can write it as 0.31, correct? And one more they had given me, and 8% of the items are over 64, means probability of x greater than 64 is how much? 8% means 8 by 100, or that is equal to 0.08. First you write like this. Are you clear with this one, my dear students? How to write it? Okay. Now for the which one? Normal distribution, what is the formula? Z is equal to x minus mu by sigma, correct? So this is the value of z here. So z is equal to, for this I'll write the formula as x minus mu by sigma. See here, z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. So z is how much in the first case? 0.31. X is how much? 45. I have to find out mu and sigma. Keep that mu and sigma as it is. That is what I want to find here, correct? Same way in the second case, what is z? 0.08. What is x? 64. Write that, keep mu and sigma as it is. First you do that. So I am doing that. See here. When x is 45, z will be equal to 45 minus mu by sigma. I'll call it as z1 because two cases are there, no? So just I'm calling it as z1. Okay. Second case, when x is 64, z is equal to 64 minus mu by sigma, or simply I'll call it as z2. Clear? So now I have two equations. So now it's like probability of z less than z1 is equal to how much? 0.31, and probability of z greater than z2, for 64 we have called it as z2, right, is equal to 0.08. Now probability of z less than z1, how will you do it? Z less than z1 means what? In the graph, draw a line for z1. Less than z1 means from minus infinity up to plus z1 I have to calculate. So it is simply 0.5 plus 5 of z1, correct, is equal to 0.31. Z greater than z2, draw the graph. I have not drawn the graph here. You draw the graph, you will get an idea. Greater than z2, draw a line in the positive part, z2. Greater than z2 means from z2 up to infinity we have to calculate. So it will be 0.5 minus 5 of z2 is equal to 0.08. Okay. Now what I have to do? I have to simplify this. So what will be 5 of z1? Take 0.5 to other side. I will get minus 0.5 plus 0.31, or that is equal to minus 0.19. So 5 of z1 is minus 0.19, and similarly I will get 5 of z2 as 0.42. Are you clear with these steps, my dear students? See, z greater than less than z1 means it is always 0.5 plus 5 of z1. Greater than z2 means, see, if it is greater means you have to subtract 0.5. Okay, I'll tell you a simple way. If it is less means you have to add 0.5. Very simple. Simple concept is, if it is less than means you add 0.5. Even in the previous problems also. If it is greater means you subtract 0.5. 0.5 minus. If it is less means 0.5 plus. Okay. Now actual problem will come here. Phi of z1 is minus 0.19. It's like for which value here we'll get it as minus 0.19. See, normally in my previous problems and all, I used to find out phi of 2 point something, or phi of 3 point something, or phi of 0.86 equal to, correct? Now here I know what is the value, but for which value of z1 I'll get this value. That is what is required. That I'll show you. Yes. So this is what was there in the previous slide, correct? I am continuing from here. So now see the table here. Observe this table carefully, my dear students. Now I have to check the table in a reverse direction. Reverse direction means reverse engineering process. So minus 0.1, and you forget about this negative sign. Okay, check where is 0.19 here in the graph. Where you will check? See, these are 5 values. Z is 5 values here. These values are 0.19 and all. You have to check here. So 0.19 is somewhere here, correct? See here. I'll just put a circle over here, my dear students. Not circle, underline. So if you check here, the nearest value for 0.19 is 0.195. Next it is 0.95. So which is better? 0.1915 is better instead of taking 0.195, correct? So that is for which value of phi? So it is for 0.5 plus 0. So it is for 5.5. So the value of z1 will be how much? 0.5. See here. Referring the normal probability table, we get 0.19 is similar to 0.1915. That is what I have underlined here. And its phi of phi value is z1 value is 0.5. So I'll get phi of z1 as minus phi of 0.5, and similarly z2 0.42. You check in your table where is 0.42. So where is 0.42 here? Can you just find it? 0.42. Yeah, it's over here. See, 0.42. Yeah, 0.4207 or 0.4192. See, out of these two you can take any values. Is it okay, my dear students? It's not like see here, I'll underline it first. Okay, just check the underlined values here, my dear students. So now 0.42, it is very near to 0.419 as well as 0.4207. Which value can I choose? See, either you can choose 0.4192 or 0.4207. It will not make much differences at all. Okay, so don't be in confusion that okay, I have selected this may be wrong. No, not at all. Either you can choose this or choose this, but I have chosen 0.4192, so its value is 1.4, correct? Phi of 1.4. So phi of z2 I'll get phi of 1.4 now. So now what happened? So if you check the table, in the place of z1 I'll get 0.5, but there is a negative sign here, so I'm taking minus 0.5, and z2 0.42 I'm getting it as 1.4, so z2 is 1.4. Are you clear with these values? How to find out z1 and z2, my dear students? See, this is the very important point here. Many students will do mistake here only. If this is correct, then your entire problem is correct. Okay, so normally when we check your answer, we'll check for this first. Okay, we'll check for the values of z1 and z2. Hope you are clear. So it's like, say, I'll explain again. You forget about this negative sign. Negative sign I'll put it here. 0.19 you check here in the graph. So 0.19 is here. So what is the value of phi? That is 0.5 plus 0, or simply 0.5. 0.42. So 0.42 is here. There are two values. Either you can select 0.419 or 0.420. I have selected 0.419. That is 1.4 plus 0, or simply 1.4. Finished. That's it. Okay. Then now what I have to do? You substitute this z1. You know what is z1? Yes. z1 was 45 minus mu by sigma, and z2 was 64 minus mu by sigma. Now it's like two equation, two unknowns. You remember, you know how to solve two equation and two unknowns? Yes. But before that you simplify the equation. So we can write this as mu minus 0.5 sigma is equal to 45, and similarly here take that mu to other side, mu plus 0.4 sigma is equal to 64. Okay, so it's like two equation, two unknowns. Use your calculator, you will get the value of mean and standard deviation. So when you solve this using the calculator, we'll get mean as 50. So just check here, second one, if x is equal to 75, then we'll get z as 1, and we have to find out probability of z greater than 1. Z greater than 1, is it not as the same case which we did there? When it was 65, we got z less than minus 1. That z less than minus 1, I wrote it as z greater than 1, correct? So is it not same here, my dear students? So it is simply 0.5 minus 5 of 1, same 0.1587. So there are totally how many students? 159 students with the marks greater than 75. More than 75 means greater than 75. Clear? Okay. Now I have the last question. Find the probability of find the number of students who had scored the marks between 65 and 75. So when it was 65, it is minus 1, and when it was 75, we got it as plus 1, correct? So I have to find the probability of minus 1, less than z, less than plus 1 between 65 and 75. So that is simply, since on the negative side as well as the positive side the value is same, you can write it as 2 times probability of 0 less than z less than 1, or it is simply 2 times phi of 1. So when you check phi of 1, we will get 0.3413. So 2 times 0.3413 is 0.6826, correct? So they have asked me to find the number of students whose marks is between 65 and 75. So 100 into 0.6826 will give me 682.6, or simply 683 students, correct? So this is the way how we have to calculate the marks of the students who have scored between 65 and 75. So out of 1000 students, 159 students have less than 65 marks, 159 students have more than 75 marks, and 683 students have less than 65 and 75 marks. Clear? Okay. So now I'll go for the next problem. See here, z1 is minus 1.4757 and z2 is 1.2263. Substitute that. So 35 minus mu by sigma is equal to minus 1.4757. 60 minus mu by sigma is equal to 1.2263. Now simplify this. So I'll get mu, take mu to other side, mu minus 1.4757 sigma is equal to 35, and second equation I'll get mu plus 1.2263 sigma is equal to 60. So when you solve this using the calculators, what will you get? We get mu as 48.65 and standard deviation as 9.25. Okay, so this is one more type of problem in normal distribution. Okay, so this is all about normal distribution, my dear students. So if you have any doubts or any confusions in this normal distribution, and also the standard normal table I'll share you, and you can refer that when you solve the problems. Okay, try to solve different types of problems here. I'll have put the question bank also. You can check your question bank. In that we have different types of problems also. So thank you. If you have any doubts or any confusions, we can clear me. And by this we have come to the end of this module, third module. Okay, module 3 is completed. So these are the concepts which are there in your third module. Thank you.